Okay, so um, this one may be a little bit, tiny bit off color. Um, I was really bummed because I wanted to go to Hot Works and do hot yoga tonight. I've wanted to go the last few nights. And the reason I can't go is because I broke my dang toe the other day, helping Miles with his go through all his clothes, and we did spring cleaning and pulled out, everything. Um, and and hold on, I have to write this down. Okay, something I forgot he needed to do in his room. Y'all, I'm a note taker. I got post-its everywhere. I got notes in my phone. I got notes everywhere. Um, I would show you my toe, but it is black. It's not because it's black. It's because I haven't had my toenails done since September or something stupid. They look. I mean, it's what? It's not. It's not summer. I'm not. Nobody sees my toes, so not right now, except my family, and they love me and they don't care. But it reminded me. I wanted to go to yoga so badly, and then I started thinking. There's a story. Um, and my friends that know me really well know this story really well because it was so funny at the time, and it's still funny. It's really funny now because I thought 51, 45 at the time was really old. I did. So I was in my 20s, and I was living in New York City, and I was working at Columbia Presbyterian. It's now New York Presbyterian Hospital. It was Columbia Presbyterian then. And I worked in liver transplant on the 12th floor, 14th floor. And not that that matters. But at the time, there was a cardiologist that were a cardiovascular surgeon that asked me if I would. I was doing all the clinical research, not all of it, but I was over the clinical research division for liver transplant, and it was a real interesting job. There's a story there how I got that job. That is a story. I don't know if it's appropriate for this channel, but I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, so he came over. His name was Mehmet Oz, believe it or not. And gosh, he probably doesn't remember me, but I remember this like it was yesterday. This was way before he did Oprah or anything like that. It was in the 90s. So I was talking to him. He was up seeing Dr. Brown, and we were talking, and I love you, Dr. Brown, but gosh, it could be a little difficult. It was part of your charm. Anyway, Dr. Oz asked me if I would come talk to his cardiology residents about the research we were doing, because, if they saw patients in the ER that they might have been called down, to see them for hearts, but he's like, I don't want my patients or my residents to see the patients as just a heart. I want them to see the whole picture, the whole patient. And I guess now that you see him on TV, you realize that was him. And and he said, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. I'm happy to come talk to him about which studies we're doing. And he said, oh, that'd be great. And he's like, yeah, how hard is it working with him? And I was like, oh, it's challenging. He's a mess. And he was like, yeah, you should come relax and take some of my yoga classes. And I was like, you teach yoga? And because I love yoga. And he said, no, but we have it over on the, I don't know, 10th floor, whatever, in the hospital. We were in the building across the street. They were in the actual hospital. And he said, you should come over. And I was like, well, I may come during lunch. And he said, yeah, it's on the cardiac unit, and we've got reflexology and massage and headphones for our patients to visualize that. I mean, they were doing he likes to mix Eastern and Western medicine, which I guess you've seen by now. And the corner room was set up as the yoga room. And I'm like, I'll be there. So I went over to take a yoga class, and it was. I mean, there's people walking around with IV poles, and it's like a hospital, and you walk into this corner room, and it was dark with lamps, I don't know, kind of mood lighting in there in the corners, and there were these Turkish rugs all over the floor, and there were other people showing up, I guess, I don't know, patients, some of them, but they were staff. It was mostly staff, and so anyway, there was this one woman, apparently she works there. Please God, don't let her watch this video. She was, bless her, she was this middle-aged. She's probably 42. She wasn't even that old. I thought she was old. But she was kind of short, kind of a little bit fluffy. And every time we would get in this one position, I don't know the name of the position, where you like grab your knees and you rock, you know, on your back. Every single time she would pass gas, she would fart. And it was like, honk. I mean, it was loud every time. She never let me down. Every single time I went to yoga and she was there, she would honk. And every time we were in that same position, and I would get so tickled. Y'all, and I snort sometimes when I laugh, and I would get so tickled, and I'm like, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. I'm laughing with you. And of course, she'd give me this evil eye, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And then it got to where I would start laughing when we would just get in position. Because I'm like, you know, she's not going to let me down, y'all. You know, she's not going to let me down. And she never did. But I would start laughing even before I got to where I almost laughed when I saw her. It was awful. It was terrible. Because bless her, that's whatever. So anyway, this one time she did it, and I was like, God dang it, woman, take some Gas-X or something before you come in here. I didn't say it out loud, but I was like thinking it. And we were finished. The instructor came over, and she was like really sweet, little skinny, like granola, like really nice. And always wore these like long flowy skirts. And she came over and put her hand on my shoulder and said, okay, maybe some of us should stay after class. And I was like, what? And she goes, if you could just stay after class. And I was like, okay. And so I stayed, and I knew it was coming. And she said, maybe some of us need to not come back until we can control ourselves. And I was like, me? I'm not the one farting in here. Like, tell her to take some Gas-X or something. Why should I get kicked out of yoga? Because I can't stop laughing at the farter. And she's like, that is normal bodily function. And I'm like, I know what it is. You know what I do for a living? I know it's a normal bodily function, but I also know it's hilarious, and it will be hilarious until I'm 100. I'm sorry. But public loud gas is funny, and it will be forever. And I was like, oddly enough, I work sometimes per diem somewhere where people have to pass gas after their procedures, and bless. Now I don't know. Now it's just a part of daily life. I don't think about it. But then in my 20s, it was hilarious. So anyway, I get kicked out of yoga, and so I didn't go back. And about 2 weeks later, I saw Mehmet or Dr. Oz in the cafeteria line at the hospital, and he was like, hey, did you ever take the yoga classes? And I was like, yeah. A funny thing, I got kicked out, and he was like, what? You get kicked out of, who gets kicked out of yoga? I'm like, I know, right? Yeah, I did. And I told him why, and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to talk to her? And I'm like, no. I'll laugh every time. There's nothing I can do about it. Until that woman quits going, I can't go back. So that is my story about getting kicked out of yoga class. And there's actually, I almost got kicked out of a Barry Manilow concert, but I didn't. I tried. I thought it would be hilarious. I almost got arrested. And I didn't, but I wanted to get arrested because I thought it would be such a cool story when I was old, that I got arrested at Barry Manilow. It was for spilling beer on the women in front of me because I was singing Oh Mandy, anyway. So these things like this happen in my life. That would have been a fantastic story if I'd actually gotten arrested for that, but I didn't. So that story's gone. But I did get kicked out of yoga for laughing at a middle-aged woman who farts. So let me just tell you now, I do go to yoga except when my toe is broken. Occasionally, I actually do take some Gas-X just in case, because now I'm paranoid that karma is going to come and get me. So anyway, if you see me in a yoga class, if I do pass gas, please feel free to laugh. All right, y'all have a good night.